Hi, I'm Gabe Johansen with Live Nutritious Fitness, and today I'm here with Research Analyst for Diabetes Support Services, Nate Darnell. Welcome, Nate.
Gabe, it's a pleasure.
Thanks for being here. Nate, we've cleaned fruits and vegetables. You've showed us how to disinfect our huevos, and I'm wondering, can you use electrolytic water to actually clean your kitchen and your
It's perfect for that.
utensils and stuff like that?
Perfect, yeah, because it's 100% biodegradable. It's non-toxic. It's dirt cheap to make. 80 to 120 times more powerful than straight bleach. We need to make it on a regular basis. It doesn't have the shelf life of something like bleach,
Right.
But it's perfect. So in like a regular commercial kitchen, you always have to keep solutions that are like they use a bleach kind of dilute bleach formulation that you're always supposed to have a bucket on hand, or
Right.
supposed to have a sink full of it. This is very, very similar to that. So this is what I recommend for every residential kitchen. Every morning I make a batch of this. This is nothing more than basically electrolytic sodium hypochlorite. We often call it just disinfecting water. It's got a little bit of chlorine in it. It's acidic, so it kills bacteria, fungi, E. coli, salmonella, MRSA, listeria, all the bad guys.
Okay.
So, and again, it's non-toxic. They actually use the same solution in Japanese hospitals. This is what surgeons and physicians use to disinfect their hands on a routine basis.
Wow.
Instead of like alcohol-based, those like jellies that you get,
Right.
antibacterial jellies. So they just use this, and it's great just to keep it on the counter. Of course, if it's an open air container, you should probably make it, regenerate it regularly.
So, Nate, how long can this water sit out before you need to replace it or replenish it?
It's a really good question. And so if it's open air, you're going to lose some of the efficacy, and some of it's going to evaporate a little bit. And if you're, be putting your hands in it all day long, I do it every single day.
Okay.
If you got a really dirty family, you might need to do it a couple of times a day.
Okay.
But I mean, that's a really good point though, because some kids, kids are kids and they stick their hands all kinds of places, and they go and touch stuff, all kinds of stuff. So probably if you got kids, do it 2 to 3 times a day. And again, it's dirt cheap, right? I mean, it doesn't cost much to make. So you just make a new batch and put it on the counter. Even spray the kid down. I mean,
Hose them down.
That's right. That's exactly right.
All right.
So,
sounds good.
right. But then with this container too, I mean, if it's sealed, it's closed, probably, you can make it every couple of days. It should last for about 2 weeks. If it's refrigerated, it might last a month.
Sure.
But if it's cheap to make.
But if you're using it, you're going to probably go through the bottle anyway.
That's
so
right.
Just once the bottle's done, replenish it.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Again, you can just keep this on the corner of the sink. You can dip a rag in it. Okay. And then if you just need to wipe down the counter, you can do so like that. Come back, let it sit for about 10, 15, 30 seconds. Then just wipe it right down.
Okay.
Okay. Basic disinfection. Same thing, pass me a cutting board. All kinds of nasties end up on the cutting board. I actually like wood myself. What they've determined is that the wood, even though it's technically dead, still has some type of like antibacterial component to it, which plastic cutting boards don't.
Oh.
So nonetheless, it's still important to have something like this solution so you can more thoroughly disinfect your cutting board. Okay, again, just wipe it down. Let it sit for a couple of seconds. Okay. Then dry it off.
All right.
Okay. There you go. And same thing with knives. You can dunk your knife in there, or knives, with, as long as it's quality stainless steel, like surgical stainless steel, it's not a problem. This is an oxidizing solution. So we've discovered with cheap stainless steel, it can cause it to rust.
Oh.
So it's great for disinfecting, but once you pull it out, make sure that you actually wipe it down. Be very careful with the way you hold the blade.
So would you ever want to leave different utensils just in the water as it sits maybe in your sink during the day? Or
You want to, I mean, I've done that with high quality stainless steel and not had a problem.
Okay.
But if you take a utensil that's made out of a lesser material, lesser steel, it might rust if you do that. So if you're going to drop it in, only do it for about 4 or 5 minutes, then pull it out of the water and dry it off.
Okay.
And that'll prevent any rusting or corrosion. So it's kind of a trade-off. It's great. It's non-toxic. It's biodegradable, but it is very oxidizing.
Okay.
So again, I haven't found the problem on really high-end knives. It's kind of like the middle of the rung, kind of like the cheap stamped out knives. Same thing. You don't have to worry about ceramic knives. They don't rust. It's great for them. Okay.
So you mentioned that this water you'd want to replace maybe once a day or a couple times a day. If it's in the spritzer, how long will it last?
If it's in the spritzer, generally about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And if you refrigerate it, you might get a month out of it.
Okay.
You know, but again, that's a sealed container, not open air. Some of this, just by virtue of having it next to the sink and if you're dipping your hands in it all day long, you know, you're going to end up getting other organic material in there, which it's going to disinfect. So it's going to lose its efficacy pretty rapidly. And because it's open air, it's going to off-gas a little bit of the chlorine as well.
Okay.
So, but again, you know, some people are really concerned about chlorine. And what they fail to realize, and I think the media has really vilified chlorine to an extent because, you know, people think it's like, you know, chlorine gas from World War I or something where people are being gassed in the trenches. And that's really not the case. I mean, we use chlorine in our municipal water supply for a very good reason. It's a very strong antimicrobial. And that's what keeps most of the bacteria out of our municipal water supply. Again, we have to be careful with it because it is oxidizing. So if we're consuming chlorinated water on a regular basis without having it filtered out, it can contribute to inflammation and it can contribute to cardiovascular disease. So I always remove the chlorine from my drinking water, but topically it's fine. I mean, there's a reason why we use it in swimming pools too.
Thanks, Nate. Can you kind of sum it up for us and just give us the key points here of what we went over today?
Yeah, so you just make a batch of strong disinfecting water in the morning, leave it on the corner of the kitchen sink. You can dunk your hands in it, disinfect your hands all day long when you're working in the kitchen. You can also spritz the countertops, clean your kitchen, clean your cutting boards and your knives. And just make sure that if you're using it to disinfect your knives, that you actually wipe it off the knives to prevent any rust.
Okay, very good. Thanks a lot, Nate, and thanks for being here with us. This was Gabe and Nate teaching you how to clean your kitchen with electrolyzed water.